Hello collectors, I'm Joe Prodzik, this is Quang Tran, and this is our review of the Killer Croc premium format figure from Sideshow Collectibles. Killer Croc was created by writer Jerry Conway and artist Gene Colan. The character made cameo appearances in Detective Comics number 533 in February of 1983 and Batman number 357 in March of 1983. This first full appearance in Batman number 358 in April of 1983. Killer Croc has a rare genetic condition giving him a crocodilian appearance. Killer Croc's real name is Waylon Jones, and he was once a sideshow wrestler, no pun intended, Quang, who developed into a dangerous and animalistic criminal in Gotham City. Killer Croc appears in the 5th volume of the Suicide Squad comic series, in which he is a recurring member of the team and a romantic interest of Enchantress. The character has been adapted into various media featuring Batman, including animated TV series, film, video games, and novels. Adewale Akinnuyu Agabaje portrayed Killer Croc in the 2016 film Suicide Squad. And Quang, I pretty much butchered that guy's name. But we're gonna go with it. So we got the statue unboxed.
Yes.
After just having unboxed Bane a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah, Bane was a great statue. Great statue.
So a little bit about this statue before we get going with our analysis, Quang. This Killer Croc premium format figure by Sideshow Collectibles is the exclusive version, and it has a limited edition of 750. It's priced at $519.99, and this statue just got released. So Quang, when I go to the Sideshow website, Killer Croc exclusive version is still available.
Really?
So 750 pieces, it's not going to be in huge demand.
Mm-hmm.
Is that because of the statue or is that because of the character?
I want to say more of the character, I'm thinking. I haven't seen a lot of people who's a huge fan of Killer Croc, you know what I mean?
He is a sort of iconic character in that Batman Rogues Gallery.
Yeah.
But he's no Bane.
Exactly.
He's no Joker. He's no Mr. Freeze. Mm-hmm. He's no Scarecrow. He's probably bottom rung.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like Penguin, but a little lower. I don't know, kind of in the same
I think
area.
he's probably lower than Penguin,
yeah.
Lower than Two-Face, probably higher than the Mad Hatter.
Oh yeah.
But he's pretty low, so there's not a huge demand for this character, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to have a Batman collection, Quang, I think you still got to have Killer Croc.
Oh yeah, definitely. Still good looking villain.
So as a collectible, I don't think we can expect it to go up in value. Mm-hmm. As this statue has been available for a long time.
Yes.
And the exclusive version is still available on the website.
Mm-hmm.
So if anything, you might be able to find it for a little bit cheaper in the aftermarket.
I think so.
But if you can get it from Sideshow, something's wrong with it, you can get it replaced.
Yeah.
You can get reward points.
Oh yeah.
You can still do payment plans, so I think at this point it's pretty expensive because they shorten their payment plans the closer it is to delivery. And since he's out now, payment plans are going to be really high for this. So overall, if you're looking for a rare statue, it's going to go up in value. This isn't the guy.
No.
But $519 for a quarter scale mixed media statue from Sideshow.
It's pretty good.
Still pretty reasonable. Yeah. 750 ES. Mm-hmm. Not super low, but not super high as well. This character, you're not going to have a super high ES.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But he's not going to be super in demand either. So overall collectability, just going to be okay.
Yeah, just okay.
Just okay. Now, Quang, let's talk about the character likeness and design of the statue. Now, as most Batman characters, even Batman himself, and certainly all of his villains, this character is portrayed a variety of different ways.
Oh yeah, of course.
So sometimes he's more human-sized, like he is in this statue, and others he's portrayed more monstrous,
Yes.
like in the Arkham video games.
Exactly.
So this version of Killer Croc is going to be more human-sized. He's not even close to being the same size as that Bane statue.
Oh, no way. Yeah.
Does that disappoint you at all?
No, I don't think so, because I think Bane iconically is supposed to be really big compared to all of the other villains that Batman faces.
Well, especially jacked up on Venom. So my most recent memory of Killer Croc is going to be from the Arkham video games. He was bigger than Bane in the Arkham video games,
Yeah,
if you remember.
Yeah.
So if people are expecting that version of Killer Croc, they might be a little bit disappointed by the size.
I agree.
But that's not the version that Sideshow is giving us. Sideshow is giving us a more human-sized version, and I think they did a pretty good job with that.
I feel like it gets a little bit closer to the Suicide Squad movie, you think, or what? A little bit bigger, though, I want to say.
I did not like the character in Suicide Squad. I would say he feels like a bigger person.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad, he was like a man with a Halloween mask on.
Exactly.
This isn't that. So it's a little bit more bigger proportion, but definitely not Bane size, definitely not, that gigantic size we saw in the Arkham video games. So it wouldn't be Killer Croc, Kwong, unless they had a sewer element.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's where he lives. He hangs out in the sewers.
Yep. Watching BET.
So he does have a nice sewer element here to the base.
Yeah.
I do like the extra slime that they gave us.
Yeah, I do. It makes it seem like he's coming out ready to play, ready to fight. You know what I mean? That's what I'm loving about that. That effect that you see is awesome.
Yeah, I do like that. And then so these two pieces here were magnetic, so they snap on there nicely.
Yeah.
The only problem I have with that is Killer Croc is going to be displayed from this angle. That slime sticking out here in front of him is going to make him even harder to put into a display.
Yeah.
So if you display him this way, so you're not seeing the side of his neck, you're going to have a hard time fitting him in a Besta.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to display him from the side. And that slime does stick out a little bit. So overall, I like the pose of the statue.
Oh, yeah.
Killer Croc isn't going to be wearing much clothes.
Yeah,
he's
basically usually not supposed to.
Got some trousers on.
Yeah, I really like how when you were mentioning on the unboxing that it's a lighter brown on the top and then it gets darker because obviously he's in the sewer and it's gonna get wet, obviously.
Right, so I do like the pose and I do like the overall design of the statue.
Oh yes, the texture on this guy is great. From all the way to his toes, all the way up, the texture on it's crocodile-like. So I'm loving that.
Yeah, overall, I'm happy with the design. I like his pose. And I like the overall feel of the statue.
I actually like how they have a little rat on the side as well.
Yeah, nice little rat. Nice bricks.
Yeah.
Breaking bricks down there. Got a lot of slime and sewer feel here. And I love that extra slime there. Like he just stepped into the sewer, into the sludge, and he's splashing it, right?
And what's great about the base too, what I like is that it matches him completely. So like the color of the sewage is like filled on him. The paint on it is just matches. So I feel like for most statues, it's mostly like, just a brick or something or, gravel that they're standing on. But then this, since he, lives in this sewage, it's just, the paint just matches really well and it connects more to the base. So it feels like the base and the statue is one.
Feels like the whole statue.
Yes.
Complete.
Exactly. Complete
version. Right, Kato, now let's talk about the sculpt and the mixed media of the statue. First, we'll start with the sculpt. He's a crocodile.
Yes.
He's got lot of crocodile features, especially texture here on his back.
Oh yeah.
Really done really well. I have to say, I like the texture a lot. It's goes from his toes all the way up to his head.
I like how it's not super pointy too, you know what I mean? Because that's not really, because when you see a crocodile, it's not supposed to be like spiky.
Right.
So I really like how they didn't make it spiky and they just made it more natural.
So I think the texture of the statue is great.
Yes, spot on.
The face is very good. How do you like that face, Kwong?
For me, I like this face. It's good. I know the mouth is very menacing, which is great. But I feel like, for me, when you pre-ordered this, I was a little skeptical because of the teeth. Obviously, they're not supposed to be straight because, he's a crocodile. But I feel like it could have been a little bit better. I think I would have liked the portrait a lot more if his mouth was open compared to closed.
So Kwong, think about a crocodile.
Mm-hmm.
When it closes its mouth, you still see its teeth, right?
Yeah. No. Do you?
You do.
Okay.
And that's what you're going to see with a Killer Croc
True.
here. Now, if you want, Kwong, an opened mouth head, you got one with the exclusive right there.
Yeah, and I really like this one. I really like this one a lot more than what it originally comes with. I just like, because it just feels a lot more menacing and a lot more scary. That's just me personally. The original sculpt as well is still great, but I would just prefer him having a little bit more open mouth, because I feel like it would bring more emotion to the statue.
Well, not only did Sideshow give you a different style with this, but they also gave you a different display options.
Which is great.
A lot of times they'll give us two heads and they look almost exactly the same. Maybe they change the hair, one's
or like
straight,
a grin
one's
or
curly.
something,
like a different grin, maybe an eye that's winking or something. So here the exclusive is completely different, both in design and it's going to completely change the look of your statue.
Yeah, because I think when you put this portrait on, you see more of a crocodile,
Yes.
Obviously he's Killer Croc. But then I think if somebody who doesn't know the character at all, kind of ish, they look in and like, oh, you have a statue of a crocodile, man. You know what I mean? But then when you have that other portrait, the original portrait, then it looks more like Killer Croc. And I think a lot more people would kind of connect with that character more.
And I think the teeth are done really well. And got his tongue on the inside of his mouth. You can definitely look inside. Don't want to put your...
Yeah, definitely.
Right, definitely.
You're going to lose a finger or a hand.
But with the exclusive, you got two different options, right? Two different ways to display the character. So this is more of the Killer Croc I see in my head. But if you want a even more crocodile looking statue, then you have the exclusive head as well.
Exactly.
So the mixed media is basically just a pair of pants and a rope belt. You have to say this does feel like a rope belt. I wouldn't call it the most high quality rope belt, but it seems like it has some wear and tear to it. Yeah. Rather than being
I think that's pretty cool.
A perfect rope belt, right?
Something about for mixed media, I honestly would have wished that his bandages on his hand were mixed media as well. Because I felt like since his hands are not detachable, I felt like just putting bandages on the sculpt would have been pretty simple. I'm thinking, I could be completely wrong because I'm not a sculptor, but I felt like it would have bring a little bit more lifelike to the character if the bandages were just mixed media.
Yeah, I would probably worry about the degradation of those bandages because if you're going to put them on the hand, you're probably going to have a lot of glue and kind of stuff in there to hold it on to the hands, and I'm not sure you're going to want to have that over a long period of time. So maybe, something like that isn't necessarily possible from a practical standpoint, but it could have looked, that could have been really a cool addition if it could have worked out.
Exactly.
So pants, standard, Sideshow quality pants. You got a lot of seams, not really any buttons or tiny little details, right? There's no holes for the buttons or anything like that. You're not going to find the zipper, any of those tiny details that would take things up to a whole nother level. But it is a standard, good, graded Sideshow quality. One thing we mentioned in our unboxing was that the color of the pants actually darkens as you get closer to the feet.
Oh yeah.
So he's been trudging through the sewers and he's been getting the bottom of the pants wet. So they're going to be darker in color, right?
Yep.
And then they are frayed at the bottom. He's been through some stuff.
Yeah, been busy. He's been busy.
Yeah. So overall, I'm happy with the quality of the sculpt and with the quality of the mixed media as well.
Yep.
All right, Kwong. Now let's talk a little bit about the paint. What are your thoughts?
Paint's pretty good, especially for looking like a crocodile. The green is there. It's a little faded to not look super green, like the Hulk-like. So I'm liking it. It looks pretty good. A little bit of weathering on the paint as well, which is fine. I really like the paint look for the sewer and all the gooey stuff. It looks really cool. It looks kind of realistic, I kind of want to say. Realistic as possible for you can have on a statue. Especially the legs. Like the effect of him stomping looks great. I'm loving it.
Yeah, I'm loving it too. Starting with the base, you got your standard, done well.
Concrete
your bricks
yeah.
your bricks are done well. The rat's pretty cool. And then the slime is done really well. It's definitely very glossy. Definitely looks like slime. And I do love the effect the slimy effect is actually going up onto his feet. And then he does have a lot of varied green tones and hues in him. And, if you just look like, around places where your skin color is going to change a little bit, like his ankles, the bottom of his feet, the soles of his feet, it's different. It has some different hues in him.
Yeah.
And getting up into the body, again, you got different
scales. Is that what we would call that?
Yeah, you got your darker green on the scales, then lighter green, and it blends very well. Now, you're not going to be able to find on a statue with this much texture.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to look at lines to see paint flaws or anything, because everything is just going to blend together very well. And it does blend together very well. You got some good weathering here on his bandages. And then when I'm looking at the inside of his arms, right, or even lighter,
it's a little bit lighter white.
A little bit lighter than the rest of him.
I think it's white as well, a little bit more white.
Yeah, his chest definitely has
lighter.
A lot of color, and it's all blended in very well. And then around his hands too, his hands are going to be a little bit lighter, and you do have some lines around where his fingernails would be. So you have some room for errors there. Yeah. But I'm not seeing any.
I really like how for the claws as well, it's kind of sharp. As the nails are pretty sharp.
And then his eyes and his teeth, I'm going to have to take this head off to get a proper look at it. Yeah, so his eyes are straight and not wonky. Teeth are painted really well, but the paint on the teeth blend in with the rest of the paint as well. No errors, nothing really to complain about as far as the paint goes. Overall, it's done really well. You're going to have, it's a darker statue. It's a monotone statue. Not a lot of bright colors, very dark, but they did a good job with contrasting some colors in his skin, giving him some lighter elements as well as some darker elements.
More realistic to what you would see on a Croc.
Right.
Because of the belly, obviously is wider than.
Right, because he's camouflage up top. Then when you're in the water, you're looking up at the sun surface. You want to be lighter on the bottom. That's how crocodiles are made. That's how Killer Croc is made too. Really, I think a great job with the paint on the Killer Croc. And one extra thing I have to say about the paint as well is some other statues, like the Hulk Premium Format, they have neck seams, and Killer Croc has a neck seam, which we'll talk more about when we talk about the overall quality of the statue. But one thing about that will make the neck seam either really stand out or not stand out as much is how much they match the textures and the paint from the body to the head. The Hulk Premium Format, it was a different texture, it was a different paint, and so the neck seam stood out a lot more. So that's not the case here with Killer Croc. The neck seam from the chin to the back of the neck, where that seam is, it's the same. So it's going to hide that neck seam a lot better. So they really paid attention to matching the two textures and the two paints from the head to the body. Yeah. Which was I think a good key, really key for this statue.
Yeah, because I'm thinking honestly when they were painting it, I think they painted it as one, not separately. But I think if they painted it separately, it would have been really bad. But who knows? I don't know how the painting thing goes.
I'm guessing I don't have any idea.
Yeah.
Who knows? All right, Kwong, now let's talk about the overall quality of the statue. Sideshow has been getting a lot better with the quality of their pieces.
Yeah, definitely.
Paying attention to detail. They knocked it out of the park with Bane.
Oh, yes.
Did they knock it out of the park with Killer Croc?
I want to say almost, just a little minor scratches, a little bit of small sculpt errors, I want to say.
Yeah, I do have a little scratch in my base. You really have to look for it though.
I had to really look for that, to be honest.
Really have to look for it though, and it's very minor. It's not even something I would contact Sideshow about.
It kind of blends in a little bit, but once you get like super close to it, then you can see it.
Yeah, then you can see it. The biggest, probably knock with this statue is going to be that neck seam. I talked a lot about it in my unboxing. So green statues have a problem with neck seams. Killer Croc is no different. So I would have much rather, even though it is cool to have the two interchangeable heads, I think I would rather have had one piece, one head, one piece to avoid that neck seam.
Yeah.
So this statue is good displayed from a couple different angles. Straight on.
Yep.
You're going to have a hard time displaying him straight on though because of the length of the base.
Yep.
He's not going to fit in a Vesta straight on. He'll fit on top of a Vesta, but not inside a Vesta with the door closed straight on. So if you're going to display him, you're probably going to have to display him at an angle. So from the right side is another good angle. That's where the seam is hidden the best. It's just a straight and round natural line. If you display him from this angle with this seam, you got a very jagged seam there.
Yeah. Take one too.
And so that's the least preferred way to display the statue. Overall though, I'm not unhappy with it. I do wish it wasn't there, but I don't have a problem with it because the paint is blended in so well.
Yeah, it is.
Now if you put a bright light on there, you take some pictures with some flash, it's probably gonna look pretty terrible.
Yeah.
From that angle. As long as you're displaying him from the right angle, you're not gonna have a problem with it. Yeah. A couple different ways. If you have to, the thing with the Hulk statue is he didn't look good from the angles.
Oh, really?
And his base, I think, is even longer. So I really had a problem with him displaying him from the angles because you could see that neck seam. A lot of it was due to the fact that he had different textures and different paints. The Killer Croc doesn't have that problem, so he's going to look okay from the angles. Less so that way, but overall, I'm happy with the quality of the statue. It's not nearly as heavy as Bane is, but it is a lot smaller than Bane. The statue isn't, or the base isn't crazy heavy. The statue itself is a lot heavier than the base. But overall, I am happy with how it feels and the weight of it. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to have a too tough time moving it around. And it's got some weight for it. Once you feel it, try to pick it up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's got some weight.
Yeah, I feel like the base is lighter, but then what makes it come down, it's going to be the statue. Because I feel like you can kind of wiggle the base easily. And then once you start lifting it up, then you can kind of feel the weight on this thing.
Right. Okay, Kwong, for everything we just discussed, what is your overall rating of this statue?
The collectability, to the sculpt, to the overall quality. For me, my final rating for this statue for Killer Croc by Sideshow is going to be a 3.5 out of 5.
And I think I'm going to be exactly there as well. 3.5 out of 5, which is very good a score for this statue. Overall, I'm very happy with it. I like it.
Yes.
Could it be a little bit better in areas?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. Could be a little bit better in areas. Do we have a problem with that neck seam? No, but we can't ignore it either.
Yeah.
Especially if you go on the Sideshow website, look at those pictures. They did a good job of hiding that neck seam, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
You need to make sure
you see what
that collectors aren't bamboozled. But now that I have it in hand, I am actually very relieved.
It's not as bad as you thought it would.
That it's not as bad as I thought, particularly in the lighting that you're going to put in your display. You're not going to have it under super bright lights in order to see that neck seam, and it's not as bad as any other neck seam that I've had a problem with. It's not as bad, but we can't ignore that it exists.
Yes,
as well.
I agree.
Overall, I am very happy that I have this in my collection.
Yeah, it looks really good for Batman fans and who loves Killer Croc. I think it's a good statue for sure.
Yeah, I think Killer Croc is an iconic villain in that rogues gallery. Maybe a bottom rung villain, but still iconic, well recognized Batman villain. So if you're like me, you have a Batman collection,
Yes.
comic book collection, you should have Killer Croc
Yes,
in that collection.
definitely.
If you only have a couple pieces, you only have a couple money for a couple of pieces in that collection, maybe you skip on Killer Croc. But if you have a larger Batman collection, you're definitely going to want to have him in there.
Yeah.
So to both of us, 3.5 out of 5. Very good for Killer Croc. I think, yeah, good job. I'm happy.
Yeah, good piece.
$519. The exclusive version is still available on the Sideshow website. If you want the exclusive version, you're going to have get that second head,
Yes.
which gives you
I like it a lot.
gives you a definitely changes the statue up a lot. Whereas some of them are just minor differences. This one I think is good enough to pick up the exclusive.
Yes.
I hope you enjoyed this review of the Killer Croc premium format figure from Sideshow Collectibles. If you want to pick up one of these statues, go ahead and click on the link below in the description of the video to go to Sideshow and get some business done. Also, check out our show called Statue Talk, where every 2 weeks, the Kato Kid and I talk about the latest previews, pre-orders, and then share with you some updates to our collection. Also, check out our website, statuereview.com, and give us a like on Facebook. We share pictures, videos, all kinds of stuff from our own collections. Check out thecollectorverse.com. That's where you can stay up to date on all the latest news, previews, pre-orders, chats, unboxings, videos, tons of stuff from around the universe of statue collecting. And remember, statue collecting is more than just a hobby, it's a lifestyle. This has been Joe Prodzik.
Kwang Tran.
Thanks for watching.